Everyone, today I'm gonna share with you how to make a kid dress. I'm making this as someone requests me, and this is for 3 years old. And if you want, it depends on, this is estimate regular 3 years old. And if you want to make it smaller, in my description I will draw the picture like a diagram, then you base on that and cut on your fabric for the smaller size. But this is for 3 years old. So the wide side of the fabric is 22 inches wide, and the long side is 40 inches long. Fold it in half. Make sure directional fabric, you have to make sure that you see the burr, you don't want it upside down. That's gonna be very easy. And I'm gonna fold again. So we're gonna do very simple measurement. On the very top here, I'm going to mark 2.5 inches, mark here, and 2.5 inches right here. That's the color, the neck. So you're going to draw the line. Like that. From here to here. 4.5. From here to here, 4.5. From the top down, I go 5. That's 5 inches. And then I go out 5 inches. Five inches right here. And then 5 inches, I'm gonna go out another an inch and a half, so it's 6.5. It's right here. I'll draw the line so you can see. The 4.5, go connect this with the 5. I'll show you how easy that is. And then this 6 right here, you're gonna curve a bit, just like this. From this line right here, I would do 1/2 inch right here, and then you're going to connect this line to that 1/2 inch. Ta-da! Now you're gonna connect this 6.5 point, go all the way out. I'm gonna take one out, cut in here 5 inches fabric by 6 inches long. I'm gonna fold it in half. From here, I'm gonna go down. I'm gonna draw the line down to 3.5. So 1/4 inch, 1/4 inch, and then I'm going to connect this line down to 1/4 inch. At one side, and then the left, 1/4 inch. This is for you to sew. You don't want this line to be too big. Okay, just like that, and it right here, let's stop. Okay, let me show you. You see, I go down 3.5, and then on each side, I go out 1/4 inch. So bring this back. Fold it so you can mark the center. About 1/2 inch. And the center here, 1/2 inch away like that. on the side here where I mark happenings. I'm gonna go down, sew it on the side, and sew this on the side. Basket, okay? Go ahead and do that. So after I sewed it down, sew here and then sew here, I'm gonna go and cut in the center. Want to fold the side. You can see this is the press that right on the side here. This is the side we sew. You're going to fold it down. You can cut this smaller if you want to, everyone, okay? And then you're going down. And on the side here, you're gonna go in like this where the sew line you sew earlier. Fold it like this, press, and then fold it out. You can do both at the same time and iron. So now you're going to go and sew on this side, sew this side, sew this side, and then you can go to here very close to the side here and then sew here. Now if you want a smaller like this, small, fold like this, then you can cut this smaller if you like. You can instead of me cutting 5 inches, you can go 3 inches by 4, okay? But I like it like that. See, if you do the smaller, it can be go right here next to the sew line. It's not too wide like this. Okay, so go like this. And it's very close to here. Okay, if you want it big, then you want it small. So cut this halfway like that. And then cut in here halfway too. I just want to give you an option you can do with. I don't mind to take a longer time for my video. As long as you get it, I'm fine. Now I cut the extra away, so now it's smaller and shorter. So going to this side, I'm gonna fold this side in half. And then I fold it down. So now it's smaller. Go from the outside first or inside first. Going from here, go all the way to here, going up, and then from here you're gonna from the outside and sew it up. From the back here you sew on the front, you can't see, so you have to go on the back here. Now go on the front, you're gonna cut the, I just knocked the camera. Now go on the front, the extra right here, you can cut that. Now you're going to place the other side, the back side, right side together, and you're going to pin right on the shoulder sides, and then after that, you're going to sew a 1/4 of an inseam allowance. After I sew the shoulder here, and then on this side too, you make sure you press it. And so here I have cut like 18.5 by 1.25 inches. Or can be longer, it's okay too, and you can cut it off when you're done. On the right side, I'm gonna go and fold in this way. You go onto the right side like this, place it right here, right at the end like this. You can go smaller if you want. I go smaller, like 1/4 of an inch. And then I place it in here. I'm gonna go around and sew a quarter up and inseam allowance. I'm gonna sew all around this. So now I'm gonna sew around with a quarter up and inseam allowance. You're going to do exactly the same for the two sides of the arms. I'm just so simple, so I don't want to go detail what I'm showing you here on the side of the arm. Then you're gonna do exactly the same. You cut this piece long, and then when you're done sewing this side, you can cut it and then use that for the arms. So continue to do that, and then after this, I'll show you what to do next. Now after this, you're gonna go and cut just a little bit around like that, so when you fold it down, it stayed out nicer for you. And then you press all around. Then you go into the back side and fold it like that to meet the line that you just press. So kind of like fold it in half. This is the best way you can do, everyone. And remember, on the arms, both arms pit that you're gonna do exactly the same. I'm gonna go to the right side here. I'm gonna fold it over. When you fold, you're gonna just hold right here, okay, and then push it in, and then iron this. Doing the same thing, you're gonna sew all around the neck. So after I sewed it around here, you the best thing is that you go from the inside and then you sew it around. That better, because you see where you sewing. If you sew like a bias tape, then going crazy in the back here. So make sure you sew from the inside. After you sew, you fold exactly the same way at the neck, and then you're going to sew this around. Very simple. Now I show you, this is what I mean, sew from the inside, so you can see where you fold it, and then sew that right at the fold. Do little at the time, you don't want to do too much because it goes to offline, it's not going to be even. Cut the extra off. And now on the bottom of the dress, so right on the bottom here, I mark half an inch around, and then I iron this, and then from the half an inch I fold it in a quarter of an inch. You do that better than you do a quarter of an inch twice because it's so little to fold. So first fold half an inch, then go down to halfway, which is a quarter of an inch. On the bottom of the dress, do so like this. You see how easy that is? If you do a quarter of an inch, it's not going to be even. So you do half and then half. Again, from the inside, you're going to sew all the way here, all the way to this side. And remember, sew right next to the fold right here. And then the other side of the dress, you're going to do exactly the same. Fold half an inch and then fold it in half. So everyone, after I sewed it here, you can see how easy that is, and it's so nice in the front. We're gonna sew the side. It's because of kids, so I'm not gonna pay too much time for this. And on the side here, if you want to, you can use the zigzag and zigzag on each side before you sew these two together. So for this, on the sides, I sew 1/2 seam allowance. Also cut it in here 2.5 inches by 20 inches long, and I fold it in half this way, and on this side right here I'm gonna go like this, like that pointy, and then the other side go from here, from this two going up like this. Okay, and you're going to sew 1/4 inseam allowance, but right in the center here leave about 2 inches open. Sew it from here, sew it down all the way down to here, leave this open, sew all the way to the other end and going up. And I also cut it in here, another piece is here. This is 5 inches by 6. You fold it in half, 1/4 inseam allowance. You're going to sew from here, going down, go to here, leave this 1.5 inch open in the center, go on here and go on up. For beginner, before you sew, you can just mark 1/2 inch, and then from there to here, you're going straight down. So everyone, with this, I sewed it already down here. All you need to do is just trim and inside out this. You don't want to make, you don't want to do this one, you don't have to. It's just do the button or whatever in the front. But when you want to make dress for a kid, you want to do something fun for them to like it. So only you need to spread this and iron this side, and then on this side go and make a bow. I'm gonna fold it in half. You don't need to sew the opening space, and then bring this over, just slightly over a little bit in the center, and this one too over just a bit like that. This the bow opening space right in the center, don't worry about it. Let me just mark so I know it's right here, and then from here I'm gonna go and wrap this around the bow. I'm gonna go and sew. We sew right here. This is the space right in the center at the bow. It's 19.5 inches, and then from the chest here 12 inches, and then flare on the bottom from side to side here. It's 18.5. So that's it, everyone. Thank you so much for watching to the end. And I just want to say thank you to all the channel members, and also the people who always come and watch my video to the end, and support my second channel. And if you have kids, please visit my son's channel to learn how to do math and many more. Love you. Take care. Stay safe, everyone.